Hey everyone, welcome back to Outriders. I hope that everybody is having an absolutely fantastic day and a great start to the weekend. And if you guys are, make sure that you guys go ahead and leave a comment down below. But if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure that you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about in today's video. And that is some of the research that I have done and why I actually choose to play on CT14. Or even potentially CT13. In most cases, I play on CT14 because I find that it's actually relatively easy, almost just as easy as CT13, but the rewards are slightly better compared to playing on CT15. Now, a lot of people might find that relatively strange, but I'm going to break down some of the results that I have gotten for playing 2 hours on CT14 and also 2 hours on CT15. Now, I guess if I were to do this again for another couple hours, both on CT14 and CT15, the results I'm going to guess are going to be very similar, if not in favor of actually playing on CT14. Now, in my research, I only played on Chemplant. I did that for very specific reasons. Number one is the expedition that I am the most familiar with. I know exactly where all the enemies are going to spawn at. Are my runs the absolute best speed runs you could absolutely do? No, I'm definitely not a speed runner whatsoever. However, I know that there are quite a few people that actually can do it a lot quicker than me. So I'm guessing if they were to do these results, they would probably have much better results even than I have by performing on CT14. Now, the significant difference that you're going to get between CT14 and CT15 is obviously you don't have to level up anything, and you're obviously going to get more drop pod resources in the long run. If you're always consistently getting gold and even silver, you're going to actually get more drop pod resources on both gold or silver on CT15 than you will on gold with CT14. So if you're focusing on only getting drop pod resources, then this method is not necessarily for you. However, if you're always getting gold, you're getting roughly 21,000 drop pod resources anyway, which is pretty good. And it only takes anywhere between 7 minutes and 9.5 minutes to complete it on CT14. That was pretty much my range for some of my expeditions on the Chemplant on CT14. Now, the quickest that I've ever done it on CT15 ever, if we were to actually go and actually take a look at the table, we can actually see that right now. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it. My quickest ever on CT15 on Chemplant is 9 minutes and 18 seconds. And I actually did that during my research. So that was the best time that I ever got. And like I just got done saying, my best time was around 7 minutes. It was like 7 minutes and 2 seconds was my best. So that means I was performing 2 minutes faster, which means that every 4 runs, I was actually getting another expedition in. And in the grand scheme of things, I was actually able to obtain 6 more legendaries on CT14 than I was able onto CT15. Now, there was actually a period of time that I was actually on CT15 that I actually went 5 full runs in a row where I did not receive any legendaries on CT15, getting gold all in a row. I was actually very aggravated. I was actually wanting to give up on my test. It is the most runs that I've ever done, especially getting up to that CT14, CT15 range, where I'd ever gone in a row without getting any legendaries at all. It was absolutely ridiculous because you should be getting a 25% 4 times. So there's 4 drops that you guys are guaranteed to get either a legendary or an epic, and you get a 25% chance on a CT15 that you're going to get 1 drop. So 1 out of those 4 hopefully should be a legendary almost every single time, and I went 5 expeditions without getting any of them. Now, I know that the RNG is sometimes kind of crazy, but like I said, I obtained so many more legendaries by doing on CT14, and also I was able to complete more expeditions, which means that ultimately I got more resources when it came to armor pieces, weapons, even some of the breakdowns, kind of getting towards the attributes. If you guys need to maintain and get more of those, I was able to break those things down for the attributes, for iron, for leather, or even titanium. I could even sell them, which I don't really need to. I didn't even sell any of these to Bailey or Tiago just because I don't need to. I have tons of drop pod resources. I have almost consistently over 900,000. I sell some just so that I can get rid of them, or I buy something, or I upgrade a piece just because I need to get rid of some of them. And I already have over 100,000 titanium anyway, that I really don't need to have those resources that much anymore anyway. But I can tell you that in the grand scheme of things, running on CT14 resulted in more legendaries, for the most part more resources, except for drop pod resources specifically. And honestly, I was able to do much more of them at a much quicker pace. So yeah, it's, in my opinion, running on CT14 is definitely the way to go. And honestly, I find that sometimes even running on CT15, you have to be completely on your A game. You even make one slight mistake and that could cost you the entire expedition, especially if you're running solo. I'm not saying in every case is that always the situation, but it can happen from time to time, especially if you play some of the expeditions that are around the crawlers where they freeze you, and then a lot of stuff you can't get out of, and then you just get bombarded by enemies, and then your expedition is just over and you've wasted that time not really getting very many pieces or rewards from participating in that given expedition. But anyway, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. I'm going to let the rest of the gameplay finish. This was definitely not my fastest run through with the chem plant expedition, but I do get gold, and you guys will have to see the results that I get at the very end of it, so you guys can see what I obtain. But again, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure that you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.